We're back in the building.
Yeah.
New Morts More Moment for you guys, and this time we're answering, I was going to say a question, but
It's Q&A.
yeah, we've got a bit of a Q&A from Q&A.
Yeah, it's a Q&A.
Yeah, we've got 5 questions from somebody who has written into us.
Yeah.
And let's see what we can do to answer them.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Are you right there? You're looking at yourself?
No, I'm looking at the camera to make sure it's on. But listen, so we've got a Q&A. Usually someone asks one question, maybe it's got a few parts to it. But this person was so cheeky as to write 5 questions.
And went into detail.
5 questions. So we just thought, you know what, just gonna answer them.
Yeah.
Didn't ask for it, but it's all good. It's coming. So first question,
cool.
Let me throw it at you. First question, I'm gonna read this one. I know you get upset when I read off the BlackBerry, but it's
I think that was
question.
one person who got upset.
Let me read. Okay, cool. Do you guys wear shirt stays / garters, or do you just tuck your shirt in normally? Now, let me read the meat behind the question. I tend to just tuck my shirt in normally, but then it comes loose over the day and creates this muffin top of a look, which looks ridiculous. Your thoughts on this and how to keep your shirts tucked in nicely?
Cool.
All right, let's do this.
All right. So, firstly, no. Don't wear any collar stays. No guard. I was gonna say collar stays, shirt stays, or anything like that. The way that we avoid any of those issues is because our shirts are fitted. You know, they're tailored for us. So it's usually when you have a baggy shirt that it tends to rise up. Baggy and slightly too short. So when it's too short, it can come out at the sides. When it's baggy, you start to get a lot of the muffin top or so forth, as he said. But when a shirt is quite fitted on you, it's not a problem that you have, because I can't say over the last few years I've had it. Unless, you know, I've put on weight, made a shirt, then lost weight, and it's loose.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Once a shirt's close to your body,
it's not gonna move.
It's unlikely. And even if it, to be fair, this is the thing. I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, even if my shirt does ride up, it's not a big deal. I'll tuck it back in. I'm not in the Navy. I'm not in the Army where I need to wear them stays and it's got to be pristine and like you can't have an inch out of place. I mean, look, it's life. You move in life. Like, I'm not gonna be like a picture on Instagram. So if my shirt comes out, I tuck it back in. It's just that simple. Number 2. Would you wear a suit jacket / blazer / sports jacket in a car? Meat. Let's put some meat on that. What I mean is, when you put on your car seatbelt, the belt usually comes up and by the shoulders and lapels and puts a lot of pressure and stress on the pads, which creases the suit jacket and damages it. How would you come about this problem? Would you just take your suit jacket off each time you sit in the car and put it back on when you exit it?
There's a simple answer to that question. No, I wouldn't. I would not wear a jacket in the car. I'd take it off every time. Unless it's winter, only in winter, but then I'll have a coat over the top. So then that takes away the pressure from directly on the jacket. But, you know, if I'm in the weather where I can just take off the jacket, like I was gonna say now it's not really summer, but yeah, I'd take off my jacket before I get in the car and put on a seatbelt.
Yeah, I've never been a fan. From even way back when I was quite young and I used to watch my bosses and my, not my bosses, my managers. I used to get in and out of cars. I used to always see them have a habit of taking the jacket off and put it back on. And one thing they used to always say to me is that obviously when you're going into meetings, you don't want to have a creased jacket. So when you sit down in the car, it's not just the shoulder pad you need to worry about, it's the back part of the jacket, the back skirt. When you sit down, you're sitting on it. And sometimes it just crunches up, and when you get out, those creases stay. So when you walk into a meeting, it just looks like you haven't got a pressed suit.
Ruins first impressions.
It ruins the first impression. So for me personally, even winter, summer, whatever, the jacket comes off. It comes off. I hang it on the back of the seat or on the coat hook, and then put it back on when I leave the car. But yeah, take it off. Number 3. Is there any other type of wear, outfit, attire you would recommend when you are outside besides just suits? Alright, let me add some meat to this one.
Cool.
I know a lot of this depends on the event itself, the weather, where you are going, etc. But still, I love to wear suits and blazers with chinos, or dress pants with Oxfords or loafers, or Chelsea boots, etc, etc, and dress them up, but I don't always like to wear that. Not because I get annoyed, but if I'm popping down to the store or mall, and if it would take me like 5 to 20 minutes max, it's a long one, sorry, bear with me. If it takes me 5 to 20 minutes max in there, I don't think it would be necessary at all to dress that sharp. Okay, I'm also having the intention of going to university next year, so it's a young guy. And wearing suits, smart business attire would be too much, especially since I don't have to. I don't have a lot of clothes to wear. This is long, like you guys.
I'm already lost.
If I'm not dressed really smart, I think we get the gist.
Yeah.
We get the gist. Should you wear suits, blazers and sports jackets and dress formally all the time?
No. If I've got to pop down the road 2 minutes, I'll go in my house clothes, in tracksuit bottoms. Like, tracksuit bottoms and hoodie. Yeah. If I know I'm going for like a shop in the supermarket, I'll put on some jeans, a t-shirt, jumper, jacket, whatever the weather is. But only if I know I'm going to be out for a few hours and it's business-wise, would I put on a suit and, you know, some brogues or something like that. But other than that, I wear jeans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agreeing with Senna. You dress for the occasion.
Yeah.
You dress for the occasion. So, for example, when I was in university, I wore jogging bottoms, tracksuits, jeans, the works. When I went to my friend's house and we all got together to watch the boxing on Friday night, I wore jeans and trainers. When I went to my friend's birthday party, again, it might have been smart casual. It all depends on the occasion, where you are, the weather, like you said. But I have a plethora of suits in my wardrobe. I just don't wear them all the time. I just wear them for what it suits.
Yeah, exactly. It really, you don't have to, like, trust me. I'm sure you get this as well, Joshua. When anybody sees me and I'm not wearing a suit, they're like, oh my gosh, you don't wear suits all the time. No, I don't. You know, I wear suits for business purposes.
Yeah.
If I'm traveling on public transport or going shopping or going to my mum's, going to visit friends, even if I'm driving, if I don't need to wear a suit, it'd be very strange for me to turn up to my friend's house for dinner wearing a three-piece or wearing a shirt, unless it's a real formal occasion. I just wouldn't do it. So yeah, relax your standards a bit. I know you've probably got the level of how you want to dress buttoned down, but relax your standards a bit, and just, if you need to pop down the road, wear something that won't embarrass you, but you know, you can just feel comfortable in.
Yeah, this is it. Definitely don't wear a suit to the gym. That's for sure. Number 4. What do you guys think of collar bars? Yeah, I see this question all the time. What do you guys think of collar pins / bars? Would it be appropriate to wear to an interview? Would you wear it in general? / more meat now. I saw you guys' interview video, but you guys didn't mention that.
Okay, I'd wear a collar bar and a shirt. I just don't have any. You know, I've got a plethora of shirt collars. You know, everything from the long King collar that I've got here, Windsor collars, Kent collars, snap tabs. It just happens to be that a collar bar isn't one that I have, but I would wear it. Would I wear it to an interview? No. I would err on the side of caution for an interview. Go there as simple as possible. Sharp but simple. I don't think there's potentially anything wrong with it, but if it's one of those things you're not 100% sure on, and if they think you might be a bit too flashy, I'd leave it out. But it's, again, personal preference.
Next question, number 5. Would you guys agree on this statement? If you buy $1,000 suit, your shoes have to be around that price range, close to $1,000. If you buy £100 suit, or if you buy $100 suit, I have to buy shoes around $100. If I buy a $500, you get the price. You get the gist. Yeah.
I'd say absolutely not, because
I didn't put the meat on it.
Okay, go on, put the meat on it.
Let's see. I mean, I heard this off a YouTuber named Real Men Real Style, and he was talking about this in one of his old videos. Okay, that's the meat.
I think, to be honest, I think that's absolute nonsense, because most people walk around in $100, £100 suits, but have £30 shoes on. If you're spending $100 on your suit, you're only going to spend $30 on your shoes. If you're spending $1,000 on your suits, you're more than likely to be the person who spends $200 on your shoes. So there might be, you know, a ratio of, you know, 1 to 5 or something like that on it, but definitely not the same price. There's people who buy tailored suits spend about £1,000, but very few of them spend £1,000 on their shoes. So I would absolutely quash that one. Yeah,
it all depends what you're into. I think, in all on £1,000 £1,000 shoes.
If you're wearing £1,000 shoes,
you're looking at bespoke.
Yeah. If you're wearing £1,000 shoes, you're wearing a £3,000 suit.
So to answer your question, I mean, I get it. Someone else has said it. I get it's another YouTuber that talks about style. So this is all about preference. It's all about opinion. In our opinion, no, that's false. That's a question and answer session, the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. I hope we answered it effectively.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're happy to do more of these Q&As and get them all out of the way for you guys.
Yeah, get them out of the way. But yeah.
Cool.
Till next time, continue to send your questions to us at ask@mortsmore.com. Continue to like, subscribe and comment. We appreciate every single one. And continue to come back and visit us. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, until next time.
We think you should just cut your cloth, your shoe size. What was it? Shoe size? What is it? Either way, look. Yeah, you get the drift. We've done another 12 minutes. That's mad.
I saw this bloke, and he walked into a room once looking absolutely spectacular. Every single person looked around. I need to walk into a room and have that. But I want to feel like that. When I actually met up with these guys and said, look, I've been recommended to you, I realised that what I was actually getting wasn't something that was a suit. I then rolled my suits from Morts More around the world. I spoke on the largest stages for the largest companies with celebrities that you couldn't imagine. There is no way on earth that Morts More are a tailoring company. They've enabled me to regain my confidence. Morts More are in the business of enabling self-confidence. And for that, I'd like to thank you.